What's up, guys? It's your boy Anime Boom, and I am back for another video. And I really wanted to speak about Spider-Man No Way Home because I just want to go see it, and I have some things I have problems with. And I like the movie, 7 out of 10, cool movie. But there's stuff I see that they could have just done better, and there are flaws in it. So I just wanted to talk about. So let's get into it. Okay, so something I seen and I feel like they could have just switched all the way. They should have never made this movie. I think this movie should have just been a third villain, like, Mysterio, Vulture. Craven the Hunter should have just been the villain for the movie, honestly. It should have been a whole different Spider-Man 3. They kind of forced the multiverse stuff, the Into the Spider-Verse stuff, and I'm just like, y'all could have just made a simple movie. You can make it just as dark, you don't have to have Green Goblin and just these types of characters in the movie. You could have just made Craven the Hunter the villain. He's interesting. His Spider-Man's identity is out. He's a hunter, and he would want to go capture Spider-Man because like he's special. So I wouldn't have had mind seeing the Craven the Hunter movie because he's a good character. So I feel like they could have just went with that. But I mean, okay, even if they didn't do it, it's fine. This movie, this idea could have just been improved on. This multiverse idea could have been improved on. So, yeah, let's talk about that next. One of my problems I had with this movie was that they tried too hard to be funny. The MCU is getting to a point where they just don't know how to stop making jokes. The jokes in this movie, some don't land. All the Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield jokes, all that was good. Just earlier in the movie, Happy, and some of the jokes just don't connect, and they're not funny. Sometimes characters force in comedy that doesn't need to be there. There were moments I'm like, why would y'all do that? Y'all just cut the whole dark tone to the movie. So there didn't need to be like some jokes sometimes. You can cut that sometimes. Like even Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, like their return to the MCU, their return to like the films and stuff was in like Ned's grandma's house. And I was like, y'all just cut the whole like mood to the movie. Like they didn't have to be there. They could have had an epic interest in the final fight. So the jokes, it was a big problem for me. It was a big problem. That's just how I feel. The jokes were bad. This movie, in my opinion, probably should have been 3 hours. Because there were a lot of things in this movie I felt like should have had more time to kind of, like, we could see. The fans could watch and see, like, them grow. Like, Lizard should have been in the movie way longer. Sandman should have got more time. Goblin could have had like another scene because he was amazing in this movie. He was really good. Dr. Octopus could have had, the villains really could have had more time. Those villains could have had more time. I feel like Tom Holland might have had enough time. He might have been okay. Tobey Maguire and Andrew, really, they had perfect time. Their time was good. Just the villains, really. Give the movie 30 more minutes. Make it 3 hours. I think the movie could have been 3 hours. And so the heroes, the villains, everybody can get a little bit more time. And we can see like what's really going on with them. So yeah, that's one of my flaws, that it just wasn't enough time for everybody. Not everybody got the same amount of time. This movie, like the fan service parts were really good. The characters returning, all of that was good sometimes. There were good moments, but everybody, I feel like everybody's been saying this, but the setup for this movie was bad. I didn't like the setup. He went to Doctor Strange, like he kept messing up the spell, and then it messes up everything. I didn't like. They made Peter Parker seem dumb. They made Doctor Strange seem dumb too. Like Doctor Strange from Infinity War, in my opinion, wouldn't have let him like even like do the spell. Wouldn't have even let him try. And then he could have asked again for Ned and MJ to be accepted into the college. I thought that was dumb. They made Peter Parker seem dumb to me, and then just Doctor Strange just seemed dumb too. The setup wasn't good. I didn't like that part. That part I just didn't really like. So yeah, that was just the problem. The setup to me, they didn't pop off the movie the way it should have been popped off. They just did that so you could get to the Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, the villains. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. The setup just wasn't great. Okay, I feel like I just spoke about this, but hey, the Lizard and Sandman were like kind of bad to me. I've accepted the Lizard kind of being okay. I'm okay with the Lizard kind of now, but Sandman was really messed up. He turned bad, then he turned good. Like, it made no sense. Why was he Sam the whole movie? I thought that was so dumb. And then, yeah, just like him, why would he turn bad at the end of the movie? Like, he wants to go home to his daughter, but he's like fighting Tom Holland's Spider-Man. It didn't make sense. And it's really just confirmed that I feel like this was also the problem with him in Spider-Man 3. So this really ruined his character to me. He don't make sense in this movie, really. He don't make sense in Spider-Man 3. So yeah, Sandman, I feel like is a ruined character. He was bad. He was really bad, and it just didn't make sense. The voiceover was kind of bad sometimes. You could tell somebody was talking over the CGI. And yeah, they ruined Sandman. The Lizard is gonna turn into a lizard anyways. He doesn't know how to get out of that body. So yeah, it made sense for him to just be a lizard. And hey man, I thought he was not that. I don't think he was that bad, but Sandman was ruined. So Sandman and Lizard were bad. Okay, I get this movie was made in like this era, the pandemic era, and like everything's going on right now, but the CGI was rough in this movie. I thought this movie probably should have got pushed back maybe for another month, because it's stuff you can tell. It's like, ooh, that wasn't finished. I think all the Spider-Mans, you could tell they all weren't finished. They look like CGI 3D like models. They don't look real whenever they're swinging and moving and stuff. Like when Andrew Garfield comes through the portal, you can tell that's not like him. That looks like CGI, in my opinion. And I just thought that, I was like, ooh, the CGI wasn't finished. I thought Lizard could have looked better. I thought Electro kind of looked like he wasn't on his body. His head looked like they put it on that body. It just looked weird. Green screens everywhere. There were green screens everywhere. That looked weird too. And yeah, I feel like that the green screens, Lizard, Electro, and the 3 Spider-Mans, they did look weird sometimes. So yeah, just their bodies looked weird, and that was a flaw. CGI was a little rough. Okay, now this is my final flaw with this movie. My final flaw. This is kind of simple, but the final swing. The final swing was not good. I didn't like it. MCU Spider-Man barely gets to swing around. I hate that. I hate that he doesn't get to really do anything. The Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, in their movies, they used to like swing around and do everything. They used to swing around. But like Tom Holland's version of Peter Parker doesn't really get to swing. And then that's why I appreciated the scene at the end of Far From Home when he was swinging around, because that was a really cool scene. He actually got to swing around in the city and everything. So I was like, okay, let's go. That was a pretty hype scene. But the final reveal of this movie, he got a new suit. I wanted to see the new suit. Like, everybody wanted to see the new suit, but we barely got to see it because the swinging scene was like 3 seconds. It was really 3 seconds. He got out of the house, swung, and then he dropped to the camera. He jumped on the camera. That was the swinging scene. I was so like mad about that. That was messed up. That they didn't make it longer, and I feel like they did that. They made it like super quick. I have an opinion that the little skating rink and the Christmas tree, they really wanted to show that because Hawkeye just finished, and that was where they had the final fight in that show. So yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. The final swing should have been better, because I just want to see him swing. So like, comment, subscribe. Tell me how you feel about everything, and I'll see you on the next video. Anime Boom out. Peace.